Hey. How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you're here. I'm Jimmy. We're making it work. We've got fancy intros around here. We got professional videography and questionable audio sometimes, but we're doing what we got to do to make it work, right? Getting the shop opened up. We're fixing to fix some cars today. I got a really good vibe this morning when I woke up. I had dreams about auto repairs last night, to be honest with you. If I'm gonna tell the truth 100%, that's what happened, no joke. Sometimes you take your work to bed. So in any event, I'll put in some clips right here of what's gonna happen in today's video so you have an idea of what's gonna go on in the shop today. 2016 Subaru Outback. You know what's going on now, other than the beautiful sunrise behind me. I'm anxious to get in there, get the shop opened up, and find out myself. I think I'll play with the project truck a little bit. That thing needs some work. If you saw that video, whew. Basically everything I haven't done to it that was already done to it, I have to redo. So that's to be expected with that kind of thing. If you work on these old cars or you own one of them, you better know how to work on stuff, because taking this truck to somebody to have it fixed, I calculated the labor. If anyone's interested, closing on 550 hours labor in this 62 C10 project truck. So you're talking about $60,000 or $70,000 in labor. So if you don't know how to work on this kind of stuff on your own, you probably don't want to pay someone else to do it unless you got lots of money. All right, let's get to work, man. Get this place opened up. Joe's working on this old Honda CR-V, trying to get it running perfectly for her. She said it wouldn't start after she got gas one time, and he can't duplicate the problem. 99 Honda CR-V with almost 300,000 miles on it. I got to take that Escape from yesterday for a road test. One more road test just to be 100% sure that one's fixed. And we'll see what else happens. You guys already know. I'm just totally clueless, mumbling while I wander around opening the shop and holding my GoPro. Uh-oh. It's also locked. Thank you. Another one with this receipt reclined at about 45 degrees. That's nice. I can't reach the pedals. Must be a big guy. Sometimes you start them up and the seat moves. Let's see. All right. 49,861 miles on this 2018 BMW 440. Customer says he went through a deep puddle of water. It went splashing over the windshield. And ever since then, he's hearing noises. And he's waiting. So he wants us to figure it out and fix it real quick, I guess. I don't know. I can't drive it like this. I'm gonna move the seat forward. Oh, it looks like that's flashing on the monitor. I wonder if it's gonna be in the video like that. It's actually not flashing at all. Sometimes if the camera's frame rate and it displays frame rate or LED lights frame rate matches, like when you watch helicopter blades that aren't spinning, it's because the frame rate and the blade RPM is on the same number, like 6,000 RPM and a 60 frame rates a second. It'll look like it's not blinking, not moving. Anyway, I don't know what the noise is. I'm just gonna take a look around, see if I can see any obvious physical damage to the vehicle. We're gonna give her a love rating of I'm gonna give it an 8. I think it's pretty clean. We'll get it in the air and see if there's damage to her splash shield underneath. It sounds like the engine runs good. He's complaining also that it doesn't feel like it shifts right. I don't know. I could put the scanner on it, see if there's any codes too, but 2018 with 49,000 miles, and he went through a puddle. So my expectations aren't very high is what I'm trying to say. Well, I can't really get the lift under it. Obviously, first thing you do when you buy a BMW is lower it. So let's see if I can get it on one of our drive-on racks and get a look around. Worst case scenario, I could take the lift apart and try that, but his exhaust is loud too. He must have put exhaust on it too. These are pretty nice cars. I really like the way these cars drive and handle and stuff, especially when they're new. But I don't know why you would take your exhaust off and lower it. You're changing the engineering, and the superior German engineering has been destroyed at this point. Let's see if it bottoms out right here. Yep. There it goes. A little scrubbing. It's all right. We can get a look underneath it at least real quick now. All right, let's try again. All right, settle down. Well, it's pretty heavy. It's not that it's a problem, just how silly it is. Look at the coil spring. The coil spring's literally 3 inches long. The axle deflection is about 30 degrees, 25 degrees. So it's all-wheel drive. So I don't see anything rubbing. I see a ton of deflection in the axles and things like that. The tires are really close to the fender wells, to the wheel liners. That could cause some issues. Got all aftermarket exhaust on it, but no splash shields are out of place like I was expecting to see. It's got 6-inch long springs in the back that are probably 3 inches shorter than stock. I can see where the suspension's all been apart to put them in. I don't see anything out of place. I don't see any heat shields or anything out of place. I'll have to drive it, I suppose, see if I can hear or feel something. He said it doesn't feel like it wants to accelerate now. So I'll look at the air filter, see if it's full of water, and then we'll pull some codes. I think that's all we can really do at this point. Take it for a drive after that. This has the hood release. You pull it twice to open the hood. There's no safety outside. So if you pull your hood release twice going down the road, your hood opens. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Things happen. I think it should lift up right now. Maybe there's something in there. I don't see it. Oh, there is another clip. One you can't get to under the mass air sensor. We'll get to it though, don't worry. We got specialty BMW screwdrivers. I don't know how I'll get it back on. The air filter's dirty, but it's not wet. That's a good sign. Alright, they're all back on. I'm gonna put the scanner on it, see if there's any weird codes. And the last thing, I'll be taking it for a drive. Auto scan. There's more work to be done. It is processing and I'm waiting. Generating report, please wait. All right, I'm sharing the report. It does have some codes. So we'll send this report up and we'll take a look at those codes. I don't think it's going to be anything major as far as his flood problem goes. It's probably going to be stuff in memory, I'm guessing, but I don't know. One way to find out, stop contemplating it and do it. General fault, memory full, no control, unit fault. Exhaust flap activation, open circuit. That means he's got custom exhaust and eliminated. That's what the engine code is. So, all right, I'm going to take this thing for a drive. I don't see anything that will. I can even clear DTCs too, just for fun. We'll clear them out, they'll come back, but I'll take it for a drive, see if I feel anything weird, and if I do, I'll show you that. Don't forget to remove your MDCI. I thought I heard a little bit of a belt type noise, but I don't see anything going on with that. The only noises I really hear driving this car are all the problems created by the lowering stuff. The tires rub the fenders when you turn the wheel more than about 45 degrees or so. If you go to 90 degrees, you start hearing the tires hitting everywhere, but that's because he lowered it, not because of the puddle. So I'm not seeing anything more going on with this thing. We'll find out how much time they want to spend on it. The BMW is going to take it. I told him I think the axle might be starting to go bad in the left front. Because it's lowered so much and there's so much deflection. He said he's had the car for a year. He bought it used, or was already lowered, but the noise just started, and he thought it was the puddle, but I'm thinking the axle's going bad, and he doesn't want to spend any money, of course. Spend all his money to buy a BMW. Oh, and now we got a Mercedes too. So Euro cars all over today, and it's pretty slow. We're basically hanging out, straightening out tools. Took in a truck that was in a wreck for an alignment. Literally, I'll show you. That is not a good sign for your front end alignment. 2016 Subaru Outback. Ooh, that's nice. I actually like these cars pretty good. This one here has only got 77,679 miles on it. I'm gonna get a love rating of 6. And they got a noisy wheel bearing. He wants an alignment too. He just put some tires on it, so he'd like to have an alignment. We're gonna check the wheel bearing and probably repair that first, just in case it might affect the alignment slightly. Usually it doesn't, but sounds like the left rear wheel bearing on a road test. Let's get it in the air and check it out. Alright, let's see here. Uh-oh. Let's check it this way. I am not feeling it. Huh, if anything, it's in the right rear. Alright. I think that's what it is. I think it's in this right rear. Yep. Okay. Let me see if he's interested in fixing this wheel bearing today before we do the alignment. This poor thing's from up north, but it doesn't look like it's terribly bad, like way up north. Maybe North Carolina. That's how far north. All right, we'll see what happens with this one. I'll either come back just doing the alignment, or we'll be doing a bearing. You can probably hear it from here if I spin it faster. Picking that up. What bearing it is. Hour and a half labor seems light, but we'll see. Especially because it's a little rusty, a little nervous here, but didn't have anything to do, so I got something to do at least. This thing's a little too high in the air for me. I have to lower this thing down a little bit. Those are some interesting pants. He wanted to come out and chat. Nice old guy. Get this sensor out of here just in case. We don't want to damage it. You know what happens when you damage a sensor? You got to replace it. Try to give that thing a little love in the roundy round, and it comes right out. It's a big deal. No need to panic. 14 on the caliper, that'll be out of the way. I haven't gotten a bigger battery for this yet, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Still just a 3.0 on it. Someone said in the comments that if I got the one with the 1/2-inch anvil, it has more power. But if the head's the same size, I'm not sure how having a larger anvil would help. Maybe a little bit. I do know one thing, I won't get it off as it is right now, so I'll try it with this. Now it'll take it off. I'll have to spin it out by hand. Consider that a win. I unplugged this caliper so we don't bust anything. Yeah. Oh, that's... Ow, I punched the fender. That's terrible for the fender. Ow, I punched it again. I'm gonna try not to do it a third time. Let's quit that. I sprayed it down with rust inhibitor, aka deep creep. Let's see if the little Milwaukee can do it now. I'm not going to reach. I need a longer socket. It's a gray pneumatic 14 swiveler. Don't worry, I'll get my head out of the way in a second. Once I find my nut. Alright, once you make it easy, the tool works great. Opportunity now. I'm setting you right over here. Let me get this rotor off next. That's a 10 millimeter. Give this tool a workout today at least. Joe brought this over. I didn't ask to borrow it yet, but he brought it over anyway. It's a you bolt it to the hub and force it to come off by pressing on something nearby. The problem is on this, there's nothing you can press on nearby. So I think this is why Eric from South Main Auto, he welds a bolt on here or something and uses the bolt itself to pull it out. So we'll see. I'll keep that tool handy just in case. I'm going to get the axle nut off. Then it should be the 414s. Try to get this nut out of here a little bit. Try to salvage what I can in case I got to pinch it down in the same spot. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. I also don't want to hurt the axle, mostly. Replacing the nuts, pretty cut and dry. But the axle, not so much. Looks like I'm not going to have a lot of options because they had it hammered all the way down. Usually there's a small gap and you can get it to lift. It's not the case on this one. So we're going to have to take a little risk here. We're going to look and see if there's a nut comes with this one or not. Nope. That's the hub looks like. Looks like it's concentric. Doesn't matter which way is the top. That's where the sensor reads from. Okay. We'll do what we got to do right here. Takes those out, no problem. That worked. I wasn't so sure it was gonna. His tool there's no place you can press on, so I could just get a slide hammer if I need it. We'll see first. Just keep giving it a little love. Left, right. Love, right. Love, left. Love, right.
You didn't need it, so right?
Oh yeah, there's no place I can press on because of the metal surrounding the hub.
Yeah, its claim to fame is for like trucks.
And Subaru's claim to fame is making it so there's no way to get the hub out if the knuckle's rusty. So what Eric does, he pulls this flange off and then he welds some ridiculous contraption to it.
You can't hook your slide hammer to that? Just wham!
That's what I'm going to try next, but might be the only way it's coming out of there. It might just, it'll separate from the hub probably. That's what the problem was they were having on, Eric was having on his channel. So then he ends up making a cool contraption, welding it. We'll try my little Mac set here. You probably have seen these sold under other brands. Quite a bit less expensive, but if your Mac guy is good to you, that's where you get it. I'm going to try the little slide hammer first. We'll get this set up, thread this into that hub, bolt the hub to the adapter to the hub, and slide hammer away. I have one that's a 10 pound or like a 9.5 pound slide. This is like 4 or 5 pounds. Usually this works. We'll see what happens. We might have to go out back behind the shed with a stick. Found some conventional wheel nuts, so I have to try to use his chromies. Not to mention the chrome ones are too short. These should work. Here goes nothing. Once this peeks out the other side, I like to tighten this jam nut up a little bit because it protects the threads. Should really get a wrench and tighten it, but snugging it up usually works. I don't think anything is happening. Well, let me get the big slide hammer. That's the expected result. I probably got to edit some sound out here. He's been working on it the whole time I was at lunch. It's frozen, so now I know what Eric O was talking about with the contraption he made. Oh, the rope trick. Sometimes it's easier to thread cameras.
I mean, it's moving. We're going to go down a little bit more.
The only question is, will we live through it? 5,000th more of an inch would have really made the Subaru engineers sad. There's not much you can do. I got some pliers, maybe we can tighten some more of that. A knuckle and a hub bearing. And on one thing, you can't switch it to the other side if you wanted to. Like, you know, like in a GM truck, you go, man, that bearing wasn't the one that was making the noise, it was this one. You just put it on the other side. They happen on these things.
I mean,
What's happening?
we're moving.
Do something?
Sure. Get it, Hoss?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a good idea with the right hand. I mean, I got a bigger.
I doubt you do.
That's a hefty shaft. Not that we need them again.
Not that they're usable. I'll have to buy another adapter, no big deal. The heck with it.
I got you, Huckleberry.
I'm gonna have to give that a little love, straighten some stuff out. We gotta give a little love tap-a-rooney here and there. But I got it?
Yeah.
So strong.
I don't know how I feel on that. Yeah, when I was using...
Your arms are like jello.
No, they're fucking annihilate.
You're like, couldn't even do a push-up right now.
I probably couldn't.
Subaru couldn't keep the seat way clear to give us 4,000ths more of an inch clearance. That was, no exaggeration, me and Rob taking turns slide hammering using bolts from the back. We found some sacrificial bolts to air hammer from the back while we sled hammer from the front. And it took just about 2 hours to get it out of there. Probably next time we'll just charge extra labor, like 4 hours labor, to take the knuckle off and do it on the press. Or sell them a knuckle with it, because honestly it's not properly designed. It's something that they overlooked, too low of a clearance for cars that are going to be used in the rust up north and stuff. It's pretty ridiculous that they did it. I have heard of it. The car didn't look that rusty to me, so I didn't think it would be a big deal. Otherwise I'd have mentioned it, but we'll know better next time. This is an hour and a half. I'll probably charge about 4 hours next time. I need something a little more aggressive. I'm not trying to machine this at all and dig into the knuckle, but I'm trying to just get any of that rust flakes and stuff out of there I can, because it's pretty nasty. Better? Yep, a little bit of the Tin Man. Some people don't like it. I get good results from it. The stuff I have used it on seems to work well for me. Hopefully this is going to fit, and we'll soon find out. I'm trying to see if there's a top and a bottom. I don't think there is. Now you got to feed the bolt through the hub, the knuckle, the backing plate, and into the hub. And you don't want to push this thing too far in, because I'm assuming it's going to get tight. So I want to get all my bolts started first, then we'll shove it in. Oh my goodness, you can't get your fingers in there. So what we'll do with that is we'll go to the old reach it with a tool method. I got to walk it in little by little, going at it from an angle back and forth. Don't you go anywhere, you turkey. The guy that owns this car came out, wanted to chit chat with us while we were slide hammering that off. That's why I didn't film a lot of it. Telling the stories about greasing bearings in his dad's Pontiac 65 years ago. And I want to be nice to him. I don't want to tell him, look, does it look like we're having fun? We want to chit chat. But he's a nice little guy, so I just kept working. A little at a time. Once I think these are all tight, I'll go around this thing 3 or 4 times just to make sure. Obviously the backing plate doesn't move, so I'm still going to make sure. If I can get the torque wrench in there, I'll torque. I'm not sure if I'll be able to. I'll have to use a long extension, which means it won't be accurate. Alright. I know it's in there somewhere. There it is. These are the bolts we used, air hammering them, and I air hammered this one so tight against the back flange that we had to chisel it back off. This is just some of the chaos. I think Bill and Bob, the Ford engineers, had something to do with this. I don't know, maybe not. It's actually more like Toyota engineers, I think, sadly. That's pretty tight. Alright, put that sensor in while we're in here. 10 millimeter. Almost ready for brakes. Not just yet. Two of these. Once these are tight, I'll plug in my caliper. Now it wants to act like it's all ferocious. The hard work's over with. Gotta give that thing a good shove to get it to snap back in and lock it. Make sure there's no funny rubbing sounds. So I gotta clearance that a little bit. This looks like it might be wanting to touch on us. Looks good. Don't hear any unusual rubbing sounds. Right. Now I can get the wheel on there. We can do an alignment. That was an interesting experience. Yep. Subaru has outdone themselves. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. There's some kind of noise. Hopefully that's the lift. We'll see. Like 5 hours for 2.5 hours now. Oh well. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Sing it with me. This is a 19 and a 7/8. Barely fit my Delio in there. Not the first time that's happened. That's the wrong way. Okay, that's too much. Oh my goodness, it was just barely out of it. Turn, so we'll hold it in place. Come with me, hang out over here, man. This is where I'm at. What's up? little bit of work in the front. This was done. Whew. All right, I got my steering wheel lock on there. Uh-oh. Oh. Ah, jeez Louise, man. Is everything on this car rusty? This one's got to come in, so let's see if we can do this. Like I said, this one's got to go out. The other side has to come in. Rookie. All right. Now we should be good to go. That's too much.
You know that Corvette has 2 drain plugs for the oil?
Yeah, there's one for the dry sump and one for the pan.
That's the first time I ever seen that.
It holds like 10 or 11 quarts of oil.
Yeah.
Alright. Now, we're one wheel away from an all green alignment, and we get to see if the noise is gone. Take it for a drive. I know the bad wheel bearing in the right rear is fixed, so hopefully the bad wheel bearing was only on that wheel bearing. So, we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting. I got to move you. You guys get to hang out over here for a second because this is getting serious. This one is really tight. Alright, I gotta get my warranty checker. I'm gonna check the crap out of this wrench. This warranty on this wrench. Alright, come on now. That's the sweet spot. That's the spot I want. Let's do this. Ah! Yeah. I don't know if you guys know, but that was a gear wrench. They're not capable of doing this kind of thing, some people say. Of course, they're wrong, but that's all right. They still say it. It's not going to stop them. All right. Not forcing around. Let's get this car out of here. Goodness gracious, man. Put a little magic sauce on it. Hit it with a hammer. See, that worked. Alright. I think you get more tools. The nut and the tie rod end are frozen together, so let's see if we got a Muller Kepps tie rod tool that'll mess this thing up. I mean, turn it. My goodness gracious. What is going on? Ugh. Nope, it just ripped the corner off the tie rod on. Okay. That is good stuff, man. Uh-oh. That didn't sound good. What in the hell? Goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. This has been the most fun 2.5 hour job I've had in a while. I mean, so much fun. Snug this lock nut up, it'll turn the tire right, no problem now. That is going to be where that thing stays. Whew. I'm going to look and see what the printout looks like. It's not an emergency to print a copy, but I'm going to print one anyway. That way it saves the work order. Saves the work order. I'm going to take the lock off the steering wheel and make sure it stays centered. Alright, now I know my wheel's straight. Let's see what my alignment machine says. Yeah, that's going to work. You can also even just bump it a little bit. On this side here, we'll just give it a little tap. Tap it back. Alright. It's a little better. I'll look at the wheel again. I like to do this before I press reset, so I have to start all over. That looks good to me. Alright. That's the pleasantries. Now we just gotta take it for a drive, see if it's quiet, and the wheel's straight for real. They changed the oil on Jim's Z06. Bill wants to buy it from him. Tell him all you gotta do is wreck it. And then when you get the insurance check, you can have it. Let's take the Subaru for a drive, and I will keep you guys posted if anything weird's going on with it. Got noisy exhaust. We didn't do anything up there, not my fault. Alright guys, I've been trying to bleed the brakes on the old project truck since it has been a little slow today. And I had Joe helping me pressure bleed it because we had to foot bleed it. I could not get it to bleed out of the back. My vacuum bleeder would not pull fluid from either rear wheel. So I had Joe hitting the brake and it wouldn't push fluid out. So something happened with this hose. It must have collapsed inside. When I broke the line loose here, it sprayed fluid out. Opened the wheel cylinders, nothing. So that's where we're at. I got to order a rear brake hose for it. It never ends. Project trucks, project vehicles in general, I like that. Anyway, thanks for watching today's video. I'm going to bring it to a close right here. Rough day today. We got some stuff done, but just a little slow. This time of the year it always is, kind of expected, you know. If I can squeak out a 35-40 hour week this time of year, usually doing pretty good. So thanks for watching. Torque the like button before you leave if you would, and subscribe if you haven't yet. I really would appreciate it. It helps the channel a lot. And you can share the video with someone you think might be interested too. Maybe there's a repair on a vehicle, you got a friend with the same vehicle, that kind of thing. Hope I see you in the next video. You're awesome.